Welcome to Wellbeing Wednesdays with Harvinder Narula. My guest today is Vikas Bagaria. Vikas is the founder of a personal hygiene brand called Be Safe. Vikas's vision is motivated by the desire to improve the lives of millions of women by developing more of the necessary goods they require. I understand that most such products get invented or created because of a need that people have faced themselves. Let's speak to Vikas to understand what led him to create Be Safe and what has been the journey like. Welcome, Vikas, to BW Wellbeing World's Wellbeing Wednesdays. Welcome to the show. Let me first begin with a very basic question because I understand people who are driven by passion usually have their own story which led them to do what they are doing today. So what happened in your life that triggered the need or conceptualization of Be Safe?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I come from a very middle class entrepreneur family, and I was happy doing what I was till 2013. I was into aerospace and defense and other businesses. But on one of the road travel with my wife Srijana, I like to do a lot of long distance road travel. So I was from Delhi. I was going to Dwarkadish, which is in Gujarat, right on the Arabian Sea, and she got sick in Ahmedabad, and so we dropped the car there, flew back, and she was diagnosed with UTI, urinary tract infections. It was so severe that she was hospitalized. While she was recovering it, we asked doctor, of course, we knew that there are many reasons for a UTI. Doctor said it may be because she hold on the pee a bit longer, because you were doing a road trip, or you used a lot of public washrooms. So I said, I don't think so, because we went to the best of the hotels, best of the restaurants. Of course, for me at that point of time, or for her at that point of time, public toilet was like dhabas or the petrol pumps or the sulabh shauchalayas. So of course that has changed now. I asked if she has hold on the pee. It wasn't. So I think there are many reasons of a UTI, but these are also two prime reasons. So we realized that clean is not equal to sanitized. The toilet seat which look clean, even in a 5-star hotel or at our home, our powder room, when it's a house party, that becomes a public washroom, right? Or our office washroom, or a restaurant, when we go and say, hey, it looks clean, but actually it's not sanitized. The E. coli bacteria which present on the toilet seats are one of the reason, right, for UTI. So we said, okay, let's think of some product. And then when we were actually researching at that point of time, she was in the hospital only, right? And when we were researching, we found that 200 million at that point of time, 2013, 200 million women worldwide suffer from UTI annually. 20% in India alone annually. 1 in 2 women in their lifespan suffer from UTI. 20% of men in their lifespan suffer from UTI. So that, being an entrepreneur, I wanted to do something big, something, I was into B2B, but kuch consumer mein karne ka tha. So I got an idea ki yaar, let's do something. And I started looking at how we can solve this problem. So we discovered, I'm using the word discovered. So we discovered Be Safe. Very idiot-proof name. Very, very idiot-proof name. And communication is so easy. Be Safe. Right. A toilet seat sanitizer spray. And you'll be happy to know that it was world's first toilet seat sanitizer spray in the form which we bought in. Previously, it was available in a drop. So you can put it on a tissue paper or you can wipe it off. Then you have to wash your hand. You have to flush the tissue paper. But it was a on-go product. Keep it in your purse. Spray it on the toilet seat if it's look clean. If it's dirty, definitely you don't want to sit it. But if it's look clean, so that's the, I'll say, the discovery of the product Be Safe toilet seat sanitizer spray.
Lovely. And you spoke about the name, what were the things that came into your mind? Because it's a very straight name. So I'm sure, you must have deliberated on this. Or so what went into your mind when you chose this name?
See, it was a pun intended, Be Safe, to be honest with you. And many a times who keeps a brand name as P? I think in the beginning, even the consumers, my friends, my family, are you crazy? Why you want to keep a brand name called P? I'm like, you know what? I want to make it generic. At that point of time, I thought that, whenever we go and ask for an antiseptic lotion, do we call antiseptic lotion or do we call Dettol? Or do we call, I want a photocopy. We call, get it as Xerox.
Correct.
So that was at that point of time. I want to make it a generic name globally, that P safe. I want to P safe. Give me P safe. So that was the point when we thought of it. Though many time people said it won't work. But I think I took that gamble. Being an entrepreneur, I took that gamble and it worked.
Well, I think it has really worked because it hits your mind when you listen to that brand name. So because, a lot of these products that people come out with, they emerge out of their own needs, like in your case it did. And sometimes we find the opportunity, etc. But a business has to be sustainable, And you spoke about the number of women who suffer from, not having access to clean, places to go use toilets. So how big is the market opportunity that you're addressing? And is it just in India or is it somewhere, are you looking at a global opportunity in this case?
A very good question. To be honest with you, it's a 10th year for us. But honestly, PSafe as a company or as a brand, we started in 2017. So it's only 6 years. Now, what are we doing? We are actually changing the habit, right? We are asking people to start spraying on the toilet seat, which help you in reducing the risk of UTI. It's not a medical product. It's not a RX product. It's just an OTC. So, in fact, I want to take one step back and want to remind you to 2006, 2007, when hand sanitizer became in vogue. Before that, I don't know if you remember, but while we were growing up, we used to have paper soaps in our wallet. Right?
I remember carrying it to school all the time.
Absolutely. So we used to look for water and then we used to wash our hands sometime. And so then came hand sanitizer. Now, hand sanitizer, 2006 is almost 20 years, right? And why it got famous or why it got international recognition was SARS happened in China at that point of time. And we said that, okay, wash your hand or sanitize your hand before handshake or something like that, if you remember that, because of SARS. So coming back to PSafe now, I think it's a global product. Of course, we are selling in more than 18 countries now. We have made it for the world. If I'm selling in India, which is 1 in every 6 people on the earth are Indians, so I think I'm making it for the world. So that's very true that it's a global product. For the total addressable market, I'll say that anyone and everyone who goes and uses a washroom. So right now we have divided into 2 total type of TAM. One is out of the home and one is in home, right? So at this moment, we are focusing completely out of home. Whosoever travels, whosoever uses a washroom anywhere, either in an office, the friend's place or something like that, they need to carry it. So the idea is to get into each and every woman's purse. So you can imagine the addressable market I'm talking about. But that needs decades of lifestyle changes, decades of habits changes. I think we are not there yet. It will come for sure, but it will take time from out of home. Now imagine, again, I'll give you an example and to the viewers here as well. If we have 3 or 4 washroom at our home, right? We have this maids or the servant will come or ourselves will go inside the washroom. We'll use Harpic or I'm using a brand name, but if we use a toilet bowl cleaner, we will only clean the bowl, but we don't put it on the toilet seat because it's an acid, right? So what we use water or what do you call the mop, and to wipe the toilet seat. Now from one washroom to second to third to fourth, the infections actually, or the disease, the bacteria is actually not infection. The bacteria actually is travel from 1 to second to third to fourth. So again, look at the TAM here. A PSafe in-house bottle, which is a bigger bottle, sit next to a toilet bowl cleaner. So I'm
Mhm.
talking about a massive uses, not only in homes, in cafes, in restaurants, in offices, wherever there you are clean a toilet bowl, you need to sanitize a toilet seat.
Mhm.
Yes, people can say that, I can use any sanitizer or something like that, but our formula is such that if you spray it on the toilet seat, within 10 seconds, it evaporates and kills 99.99% of E. coli bacteria and seven other bacteria, which causes diseases or infections like E. coli, UTI, and many other infections.
Right. It's a brilliant thought about not just carrying P safe when you're traveling, but also use it at home. Because every business that gets set up goes through its cycle of challenges, speed bumps, etc. Are there some speed bumps that you encountered while you were setting up P safe? And what were these challenges and how did you overcome these?
In every entrepreneur's life, if I put it from 0 to 10, the success are only two, 8 are challenges. So my life has always been and I think God has given me that nothing comes easy to me, right? And I think that's why whatever I excel after a certain period of time, it's full of challenges and failures. And what I do is I always learn from my failures. So 2013, if I take you from the journey of the discovery of the product and forming of a company and where we are, uh, 2013, we discovered the product. I sold around 100,000 units with all my money. I didn't know how to raise money at that point of time. It was under one more company, other company, which was Solid, which was Safety Cart. Um, by 2016 end, I got, actually tired. यार पैसे रेज नहीं हो रहे प्रोडक्ट को कैसे बनाया आई डिडंट नो हाउ टू डू आई हैव अ B2B बैकग्राउंड आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज FMCG व्हाट इज कंज्यूमर आई डिडंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट इट I thought that okay this is world's first product 100,000 people are using it gynecologists are recommending it I've already sold in Nigeria in Australia in Bangladesh at that point of time so no I came and I went to some investor and say boss give me $1 million or two I want to give you a brand sell it off to anyone I was shown a face, a mirror that you won't even get 50 lakhs of rupees because this is not a product which can sell in future, right? So I thought of, even selling below 50 lakhs of rupees in December 2016. But this was created by love for my wife, right? We didn't wanted money at that point of time. We wanted to bring PSAFE to a different level. So she said, and I think she, out of many, many good advices she has given me throughout my 25 years of marriage, I think this was the best advice that don't sell PSAFE. And I kept it. I made a new company in 2017, put PSAFE into that. And luckily I met someone who helped me in raising funding. And from there till now, different challenges, scale, distribution, ventures, fundraising. Every year there's a challenges, every year. So I'll say that it looks very easy that we are at some place in our life, but nobody knows what is behind that water, behind that surface, which is far more bigger pyramid than what we are at the top of the surface. So I can go on and on the failures and the bumps, but yes, a lot. In fact, one I would like to very candidly also say that 2017 when we made Redcliffe Hygiene, which is the owner of PSAFE at this moment. In 2017, we made this company. I wanted to be not only a digital first or not only an online company because I believed at that point of time only 7% of the population or 6% of the population was buying online. So you needed offline. And we have only crossed another couple of percent. So even 91% people buy offline, right? So I went offline. I went to the critical mass stores like the airport stores or the railway station or the dhabas or the malls where the users were there, right? Where the public washrooms were there. But the retailers say, boss, ek to naam bahut kharab hai. P, I don't want to keep it. Secondly, who will use it? I'm talking about 2017. And okay, you keep it there. Jab bikega, then I'll give you the money. Those kind of places. But what helped was our partnership with the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha. So I think it was marriage made in heaven for us. We became the hygiene partner for the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha. Got a very good deal because the producers, the production house, they all believed in us, and we became the hygiene partner for the movie Toilet Ek Prem Katha. And believe me, after the release, all those retailers who said no, they called us and said, "Okay, saman rakh ke chale jao. I think this is gonna work." So I think, yeah, this is one of the good story I can always remember.
Now, that's a very beautiful thing to see. You never know what kind of opportunities come your way, and that can transform or give that impetus of growth that is needed for the product. Uh, Now, when you mentioned that gynecologists were recommending this particular product, now medical fraternity usually does not promote or recommend products which have not been believed to be proven and tested. So, do you have any certifications, etc., or accreditations that allow you to promote this through the medical professionals?
So since it's a non-RX product, right? You don't need a prescription for it. It's an OTC product. But before we launched it, we did the dermatologically tested from a government and international body. We have done our kill test that it kills E. coli bacteria. We have done because it's manufactured under cosmetics license and drugs, so it's all the FDA approvals are there on the product. Skin irritation test. So those things which are required for an OTC product is all in place, right? Now, since we are a startup, we didn't had a muscle of a MR model or medical rep model who can go knocking on the doors of gynecs and giving the sample so that they can recommend it. So what we did, we actually, were one of the first brand or a new age brand who used consumer as influencers, right? So we went behind consumers who were buying from us because it's going through online, or we were used to collect some data with friends and families, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. So we reached out to them. They said, if your UTI has gone down, if your infection rate has gone down, can you recommend us? Right? So it really worked in our favor. So there were a few doctors who were also prone to the infections. So when they saw that the infection has gone down, and when the patients were coming back to those doctors and say, you know what, okay, I'm pregnant, I was getting UTI, now it's actually gone down. Maybe whatever reason, I think, but it played to our advantage, right? That the doctors start prescribing it without even visiting to the doctor. So I can give you stories. I used to get a call from Imphal, from Gangtok, from say Salem, from Srinagar, the pharmacist or the pharmacies rather, कि यार मुझे P-Safe दवाई बेचना ये डॉक्टर ने लिख के दिया है, and they used to write not toilet seat sanitizer spray, P-Safe, and still happening same, they write P-Safe. So that's why I told you in the beginning, I want to create that generic name,
Right.
So to answer your question again, no, it's not an RX product. We don't have an RM model. It's more of word to mouth. It's more that the product is superb and our customer are the best and the foremost influencers for us.
Now, because when the product gets public attention, it has now been promoted through a movie. And the moment you get into this particular situation, there is competition that comes in. So do you see competition coming in? And how do you think you will be differentiated by anyone else who's going to come in and probably create a Me Too product?
When you create a category, right? And since we have actually expanded the brand P-Safe, which was a product name, into a brand name, and then we are completely into toilet hygiene, sustainable menstrual hygiene, sexual wellness, and personal grooming. We can talk about that later. But again, to answer your question, if competition doesn't come after us, if Me Too doesn't come after us, it means we are in a wrong category, right? If I was selling to 100 people with 100% market share, if I'm selling to 100,000 people with 80% market share or 70% market share, I think I'll be more than happy to be in this situation rather than into selling to 100 customers. So we wanted more and more people to come in, and I, being one of the first or a man to being into feminine hygiene or a sexual wellness company category, I always being the flag bearer of and ask people to come and join the community. Because this is what is the discussions are taboo. People think only women can create product for women wellness. No, a man can also do that, right? Though of course, a man doesn't know what a woman want, but but we can create product as well. So I think there were a lot of Me Too products come in. So there are a couple of things which I want to say here is, so there are small labels who manufacture 10,000 pieces, 20,000 pieces. See that piece of bik raha hai, to yaar mera bhi product bik jayega. Yes, but they are not the thought leaders. Number one, the brand name plays very, very important. Without naming a very well-known international brand into toilet hygiene, have launched just recently, 6 months back, a toilet seat sanitizer, and we were very happy about it when we know that they are launching. But they named the product with their current brand name, which 99% of Indians who don't want to even touch it while it's in the toilet. Right? So forget it that you'll be carrying in your purse.
Got it. I liked your perspective and attitude towards welcoming the competition to come and grow the category. And also I feel that what is very beautiful is that when you have competition, it forces you to think about differentiating and making your product even better or advance it. So that's a very beautiful thought. Now, when we are looking at new categories or new ways of taking the product forward, another thing that comes to our mind when it comes to hygiene or personal hygiene is respiration, sweat. And when you go to places which are public places like gyms, where the same mat has been used by several other people before you started using the mat, or the equipment that you're using has been used by other people and they have been sweating. Is there something that you're doing about this category?
In 2017, we launched one product alongside the PSafe 2.0 was Gym Safe. So it was a similar product, a surface disinfectant, which any person who's going to the gym can put it onto the gym bag, and after a successful workout, to leave it sanitized to the person who's coming next, just spray it on the equipments, leave it to dry, and the second person can come and can find a fresh equipment. Or if I'm getting into it, I can spray it before I use it. But the problem there was, you can do it on your personal equipments, but when you are going to a professional gym, the gym owners or the managers will not allow it, because more of education, because we created the product in such a way that it wasn't damaging any surface. But they thought that it, long run, the surface may get damaged. So they said, okay, let's not use an alcohol spray or a disinfectant which can spray it on a surface and can remove any bacteria. It's better to wash it or with a clean wipe or something like that, or wipe it off with a wipe. So it was well accepted. We were selling it for 2 years, but after that we saw that there was a lot of objections from the gym owners. So we thought, let's not get into it. Let's build the feminine hygiene and PSafe. So let's not get into that Gym Safe. But this was the only product. But again, I'll say, if you want to do it, I think cloth works well. I think that's the only solution right now, because if you own it product, you definitely you can do it. But and one more thing, because it's fragrance, right? And those are AC rooms. Sometimes that fragrance overpower the room's odor, and because it's unlike washroom, because a washroom does have foul smell. So people sometimes react to it. Hey, I don't like the lavender, I don't like the mint, why you are spraying it, or they start coughing it. So generally you don't want to use product which can actually, you are making other people uncomfortable.
And Vikas, which are the other women hygiene or women wellness products that you guys are working on or have already launched?
So our company name is Redcliffe Hygiene, under which we have 3 brands. PSafe is what 80% of our business. We have other two brands. So I'll come to pieces. So we have other two brands or the extension of a category. And mind you, we are only focusing on innovative products to be given from puberty to menopause. So from age 10 to age 50 or plus or maybe lesser. So that's our TG. So apart from PSafe, we have a brand called Domina, Domina, which is vaginal condom or condoms for female. So we are empowering women to take charge for unwanted sex and unwanted pregnancy. They should not be helpless or wanted their partner or spouse to wear a or a contraceptive, so they can take charge. So we will be bringing a lot of sexual wellness products under, especially for female, which is completely taboo. Nobody talks about it, but we are 1.44 billion people. So we really, really need to talk about it. The other brand is called Furr, Furr, and it actually got, innovated and born after COVID, when females stopped going to the salons for their hair removal or for their personal body grooming, right? So Furr, we made it a more of a body positive brand. Our brand was Furr, and the tagline was, let your fur go or grow. It's your choice to shave it for yourself, not for others. So we came out with bikini line razors, body razors, face razors, hair removal creams. So all those kind of products because that falls under hygiene, right? So, and again, puberty to menopause, same TG. Coming back to PSafe, I'm really, really, very proud of my team. And of course, thanks to the consumers, they loved us for what we did in menstrual hygiene. So we are one of the largest, I think, new age startups, new age companies or a brand who are focusing on sustainable period care. So menstrual cups, reusable pads, sanitary pads, biodegradable tampons and biodegradable sanitary pads. So we ran a campaign called Bleed Your Way. We are asking menstruator, right, to select what they want to use. We are not only focusing on or selling on sanitary pads or plastic sanitary pads, which takes 300 to 400 years to decompose. So we are offering a 12 hours, which you can wear it, a menstrual cup, cost around 350 rupees, can be used for 5 years. For 5 years, you can swim, pee and poop while wearing a menstrual cup. So how cool it is for health givers, how cool it is for paramilitary forces or the women in armed forces, or how cool it is for a sports person if they are swimming or if they're competitive sports. So we are really promoting a sustainable menstrual care, and I can tell you that the future is sustainable menstrual care. There will be more and more of a cup users than a sanitary pad users globally. And also very proud to say that we are manufacturing in India a China plus one strategy so that we can sell it for the whole world.
We are living in a society where, even men, when they go to a medical store, they hesitate to ask for condoms, right? How do you expect women to go and openly ask for these kind of products like condoms when they do not even go themselves and send somebody else to buy the sanitary pads?
So I think the world has changed, sir. And thanks to the very young Indians, we are the youngest nation, and we have a huge population of Gen Zs. Now, Gen Zs are not like me and you. They are more of explorer, and they don't want to use product. They don't want to buy the product like we used to buy. They just want to do something which we haven't done. I think that has really helped a brand like PSafe. So when you talk about previously you asked about the failures and mistakes and other stuff. I think one mistake which I did when I launched PSafe was I started marketing to people my age. It was difficult when I was selling menstrual cups, right? Because when I was growing, I remember, it was so taboo even to use tampons, right? Because of the obvious reason, which we may or may not talk about here. Yes. But now, I think girls want to use it because for the sheer comfort and sustainability. So coming back to this, I think if I say that we are selling around 25,000 condoms a month, it's not a joke. And women buys it. It's actually so good to see that the Gen Zs are so open of their sexual orientation as well as sexual wellness that they will consider, because I always say that being healthy is not being sick. Being healthy is now a way of life, right? So I think the world has changed, women have changed, and people want to take charge. So that's why the Domina's tagline is to take charge.
When we are looking at the younger generation, Gen Z, coming out and exploring, discovering, and they're more vocal and open about conversations around their women hygiene, etc. We still have a big challenge when it comes to tier 2, tier 3, or the interiors of our country. Are there some initiatives that you are taking as an organization to spread the awareness uh, in those areas?
No, absolutely. Though we are a loss-making company, we don't have a compliance for CSR. But I think to grow the category, we have to talk about it. So what we do, we have an initiative called Hak Se Period. Hak Se Period, in which we ties up with all the companies who have CSR funds. We ties up with NGOs. We ties up with the midwives across India, and we go and make the menstruator, even the boys and men, sensitized about periods, about sustainability, about things which was always considered as taboo. So we have done somewhere around online and offline. I think thanks to the online or a digital way of learning, we have impacted close to a million menstruator by giving them education online, both men and women, or girls and the boys. So we do a lot of such events. We participate with local administration with the likes of DMs. We go to in fact, a couple of things which I want to share. One of the NGOs were distributing our female condoms, Domina, in red light areas of Mumbai and Delhi for sex workers, right? And they were so happy that they started buying it after that, right? We have tied up with one of the administrator of a particular state in India, wherein the DM took us to the central jails for women inmate menstrual hygiene, right? So we educate them. We go to deepest corner of India, not directly, but through some NGO partners, and we educate how not to use the sanitary pads, but start using menstrual cups. We as a brand also are very vocal about body positiveness, sex positiveness, and gender equality. So inclusivity and diversity is what PSAFE stand for. And I think that has really helped us, that more and more customers come to us, users comes to us, and they preach about what we do, not as a brand, but as an overall category.
Because there has been a lot of conversation recently in digital media about using deodorants or scented products in private areas. What is your opinion on this, and what are your thoughts?
So I said that we are a very body positive company. So we hate it when somebody say anything which is against the natural body thing. So anything which is tightening, lightening, brightening, or fragrance, because God has given us, so intimate areas smell is something, there's for a reason for it, right? So we don't prescribe, we don't sell, and even don't contribute toward any kind of sprays or deodorants for the intimate areas. What we generally do is we have intimate hygiene wash, or the intimate wash for men and women, but we don't. It's completely odor free. It doesn't have any kind of odor. It will have a natural aloe vera extract, so that's an aloe vera fragrance maybe, but not an added fragrance. For your underarms, we definitely have a different product called underarm sweat pads, which you can stick it to your cloth, and your sweat doesn't show us on your cloth, and it get absorbed by by the product. So apart from that, I think all bodies and all shapes and all smell are natural. So adopt it.
What pH range should products from personal hygiene be at, and why would you think so?
See, pH range for personal hygiene product, intimate hygiene for men and women are different because of the skin type, because of the body structure and genetical, all those kind of stuff. For women, it's always between 3.5 to 4.8 pH balance. For men, it's around 4.8 to around 6, around 5.9, something like that. Why it is important? Because the pH balance helps in maintaining the good bacteria, right? I think that's the only way where the acidic value remains balanced, because that's why the pH balance is always considered very important. Even in many brands which manufacture soap, they write pH balanced. So we need to understand that men and women pH balance are different. That's why there are different men intimate wash and women intimate wash. It manages your pH balance of your genitals or the acidic value, and it maintains good bacteria at that point of time. I think that's the limited knowledge I have about pH. So that's what I'm telling you.
Right. And what's ahead at PSAFE? I mean, is it more categories to be included, or are you looking at raising capital? What is it that we can look at coming in from PSAFE?
So we already have around 5% of our revenue comes from men's product, which is men's intimate wash as well as men intimate wipes. And I'm happy to say that around 20% of PSafe toilet seat sanitizer sales come from men as well, because we have to poop a day as well, right? We have to sit on the toilet seat, be it out or be somewhere. So men, I carry, all my friends carries, and I know many men who carries a toilet seat sanitizer with them if you are traveling a lot, right? Yes, we are in the middle of a fundraise. So yes, we are looking to close our Series B. To add new categories, no. We want to go deep into the categories which we started, which is toilet hygiene, sustainable menstrual care, intimate wellness, sexual wellness, and fur, which is our personal grooming. And to focus only on puberty to menopause, bring innovative products. Since we are an omni-channel company, right from day one, I told you about 2017, we were selling in stores. So we are present in around 80 cities, 15,000 stores, 18 countries. So we just want to make it double in next 2 years. So that's the nearest goal we have. I think the aim is to make PSafe in every woman's purse. I think that, yeah.
Yeah. How big is PSafe right now in terms of revenue and the number of people that you have as an organization?
So PSafe is a very young team. If you remove me, I'll be 50 this year. The average age of my team members is 24. So it's a very young team. It's all Gen Zs mostly who make product for themselves and for the world. On the revenue side, we'll be doing somewhere around 100 crores this year. A very, very niche category, very small category. If you take feminine hygiene category itself is only 6,000 crores, and wherein 95% is sanitary pads between the duopoly of P&G and J&J. So very limited space, but very impactful. I think, it's. I think the world is there for us to play, and we are right on the right step.
Lovely, Vikas. Vikas, it's been such a pleasure speaking to you, because my perspective to women hygiene has kind of changed, and I love the clarity of your TG, which is puberty to menopause. That's a beautiful way to describe your TG, and I love the attitude, which is more focused on innovation and focusing on growth and sustainability. Talking about sustainable menstrual hygiene. And my biggest takeaway is that being healthy is a way of life. Beautiful conversation. Loved speaking with you. And I'm sure this is going to be very useful to anybody who's been watching it.
No, thank you so much. I think if with the view of this, if anybody can convert into taking care of themselves or to for their partners, I think my agenda of promoting a wellness is resolved here. So thank you so much for having me, Arvinder.
Thank you.